Community groups, business leaders, and residents in Chinatown are pleading for action to deal with the rise of crime in the area, from open drug dealing and drug use to harassment and vandalism. One daycare in Chinatown is no longer taking children out for walks. The call for action comes as drug use, crime, and justice have become a major political issue on the federal level. Let's find out a little bit more about what's happening on the ground in Chinatown. My pleasure to welcome May Giang onto the program. Is the owner of Patisserie Coco in Chinatown. May, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Hi, Elias, and thank you for having me on the show.
It's our pleasure here. And we've also got Winston Chan, entrepreneur and ex-president of the Federation of Young Chambers of Commerce of Quebec, with us as well. Hi, Winston.
Thank you for having me.
So, May, I'm going to start off with you as a current business owner in Chinatown with a great shop, by the way. I used to live near the Old Port, and I would come to Coco Bun quite a bit. Really good food. So food aside, though, you must be seeing something quite incredible in the area. Why don't you tell our listeners what you're seeing of late?
Well, I'll start by saying that the problem of homelessness and criminal acts in the neighborhood, that's something that we've been seeing a lot, especially since the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And however, we also saw, though, an improvement since last fall when they shut down the shelter in the Complexe Favreau. Like I see the Park Sun Yat-sen being a lot cleaner, and I see less criminal acts, especially in the early mornings when I come into work. But however, that being said, I still see the same amount of people begging for money or for food in front of my storefront on the streets of Chinatown. So that has not changed. I just saw a news segment that says things have gone worse over the past couple of months. Personally, I can only speak for my shop. I don't see a worsening of the situation, more a status quo in terms of shoplifting or in terms of people begging for food or money. So,
Winston, let me get your thoughts on this, because, what May just said, she goes over the issues that have been endemic in the area for quite some time. Last week, I saw a whole bunch of leaders from the Chinatown community making a plea for more action here. So, Winston, give us your thoughts.
Well, this problem has been there for almost 4 years since the pandemic, and what we saw is that there has been some increasing crimes. There has been a murder a few weeks ago in Chinatown, but the thing is that we're addressing the symptom right now. So we need to address the cause of the problem, and there's three crises: the homelessness crisis, the mental health crisis, and the other one is the addiction crisis. And we need an action plan, well funded, to address these three crises. And because we have been trying to move the problem from one neighborhood to another one, so we had some people that came from the gay village, but also now with the shelter moving up to Verdun, so try to move the problem to Verdun. But we need a permanent solution where we're going to help the homeless people to stay out of the street, which take a lot of resources and a lot of money. But that's the only solution to be able to solve this problem.
May, can I ask you, what's your lines of communication, whether with the police, other people, politicians, and that kind of thing? Can I just get, if you need help, what happens, as you run your businesses in Chinatown?
Yes. So, I want to be fair here, and I must say that the city and the federal government as well, they have open lines of communications with us. I have good contacts with the city. The mayor even, I think, set up 2 new positions to really be in touch with the community and helping us form an SDC. But so I feel that there are points of contacts for me. Even at the federal government, we have a lot of politicians who come by twice to 3 times a year to say hello, sit down with us, and discuss with us. So the shutting of the shelter at the Complexe Favreau is one perfect example. We voiced our concerns with the mayor, with her administration. We voiced our concerns at the federal level with the Stephen Guilbeault, and I think that was, helpful in having our concerns and voices heard, and it resulted in the shutting down the shelter. Now, was that the perfect solution? Of course, there's consequences from that may not be exactly the ideal outcome that we were all hoping for, but the communication, the contact points are there. So I feel that if we need help, we have people to speak to. Now, like Winston Chan was saying, it's a very complex issue on multiple fronts, and so that requires a complex action plan that would involve a lot of actors, right, in the community, different paliers of the government. So.
We are with May Giang, an entrepreneur and business owner in Chinatown, along with Winston Chan, entrepreneur and ex-president of the Federation of Young Chambers of Commerce of Quebec. Winston, last week, and we aired this on the show, and a sort of impassioned plea from Brian Chang, and he was talking about open drug use and drug dealing. I think he had mentioned Clark and St. Urban streets in particular. And then we also heard from one father in the neighborhood who says, they're walking their child to daycare and they're seeing drug use. He's got to find a way to explain that. So let me ask you on that side of things, the drug use. Is that just the same? Is it the same old issue now, 4 years, or is there anything unique or new happening there?
Well, it's been there for many years. There are some places in Chinatown that are known as crack houses. So that's the reality of it. And the problem for now, from what I know, is that the city has set up a crisis unit, and they have also working with the healthcare responsible for that neighborhood to also give care, also healthcare. All of them need psychiatric care, and they need also healthcare to address their addiction. So there's a big problem, and the homeless population is also on the first line, the victims of the drug traffic crime criminals. So of violence. So but also at the same time, they're also the prime clients of these drug traffickers. So it's a very complex situation, and yes, there has been a lot of violence also in that area also.
May I have to wrap up here, but is there one thing you'd like to see happen in the near term?
Yes. So to me, there's a lot of there's a few steps that in the immediate we can do to clean up the area. So to put in more lightings, especially in problematic alleyways, that would deter criminal acts, and also to have more. I know it's a band-aid solution, but to have more police patrolling and have a zero tolerance towards criminal acts. So as soon as they see something, clean it up, zero tolerance. But then, of course, these are band-aid solutions. And like Winston Chan was saying, there's longer-term solutions that we all have to roll up our sleeves and work on. But that's up for the government to really help us there.
All right, guys, we got to leave it there. I want to thank both of you for coming on. May Giang there, business owner, Patisserie Coco Bun, and also Presso Tea. Are you owner of just the location in Chinatown, May? Or
so we're the franchisor of the province of Quebec, but we do own a part of those locations, and yes, Chinatown, we own those locations.
Okay, well, May, thanks so much, and Winston Chan, always a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks, Eli.